Hello Cinema Lovers, I'm Viola.
Hello, I'm Kevin.
The big screen.
Today we are here in Budapest, in the capital city. We came back especially here, and if you remember, for the last time we wanted to review a Hungarian movie, so today is time for that. Are you curious about it?
Let's go! Title: WERCKMEISTER HARMONIES. Year: 2000. Directors: Béla Tarr and his wife Agnes Hranicki. Genre: drama, mystery. Filmic locations: Hungary, town of Baja. Country production: Hungary, Italy, Germany and France. Cast: Lars Rudolph, Peter Fitz, Hanna Schigula. Awards: 5 wins in Berlin International Film Festival, in Hungarian Film Critics Awards, Hungarian Film Week, and nominations in Chicago Film Critics Association Awards for the Best Foreign Movie and in Cannes Film Festival for the Best Director.
The plot of the movie actually is quite simple. There is a small town with Hungarian people, and there is coming one circus that promises that will show the show of the prince and the biggest whale, the hugest whale in the world. And actually I think that this whale is the main symbol of the movie, and there are some epic scenes where I think that the director Béla Tarr is trying to show different kind of messages. I think that the main message of the movie is the violence that some people might show, and how some political situations or some kind of big rebellion, some kind of big authoritarianisms, for example, can happen because the ignorance of people, because how some different kind of facts can provoke this. And I mentioned that the whale, I think, is the main symbol of the movie, because I think that it shows the whale, that is a huge animal, is one of the most powerful animals in the nature, how such big powerful animal can be exposed like a trophy by the humans, that definitely we are, at least in size and in power, much more smaller. And also I think that the movie also is recorded in a way that wants to show these feelings, because there is this epic scene in the beginning where Janos, the main protagonist, is showing the eclipse, this phenomenon in the bar, like in a quite nice way to the rest of the people, and there are so good feelings. And just in 48 hours, that is the timing where is recorded the movie, in the last part we can see how people pass from a kind of strange confusion sensations in the town, but still having good feelings between each other, how it passed to total violent situation. And definitely the last two scenes, the previous one from the last one, when Janos is in hospital, absolutely shocked, how totally changed his mood until that point. And of course the last scene when the uncle of Janos is in the town square with everything destroyed, the whale almost exposed there, and this kind of melancholical situation about how can be the brutality of the humans.
Today in the Secret Files, I would like to say some curiosities about the movie that we are talking about. So let's start with the title. The title reference actually is kind of tribute also to the German musician Andreas Werckmeister. And also it's important to mention that in one speech in the movie they mention about him. Another curiosity talks about director Béla Tarr. Béla Tarr shows that he's extra super perfectionist and professional. He was searching for the proper square for the movie almost 1 year, so it's quite long time. And also he admit that they don't use script, because sometimes just they are writing the script for financial resources, for finding the budget for the movie, but in general they don't use the script. If you want to work with Béla Tarr, you need to be really patient, because he is quite perfectionist also with the shooting. In the movie was recorded 37 shots, not counting the credit, in 145 minutes, so average of the shot is 4 minutes. In many, or even not in the most of him movies, shots last around from 4 to 11 minutes, so it is possible even that he spent 1 month for one single shot. Also, the shooting process most likely was during the winter, we don't know for sure, but during this time the temperature dropped to minus 15 degrees Celsius, so wow, it was really cold. And also I would like to mention that the movie was recorded with 6 cameramen, 1 from America, 2 Hungarian, 2 German and 1 French man. So now let's go to the section Good or Bad Luck, when we will talk about the protagonist of today, so about Béla Tarr.
Béla Tarr is the director of this movie, one of the most known Hungarian directors internationally, quite known. And today we will talk about his career, about his life. If you remember properly, nobody guessed it, so there was no winner, but was also the protagonist of the previous reviews, Who is Who. Béla Tarr was born in 1955 in the city of Pécs, one of the biggest cities in Hungary, in the southwest of the country, next to the border with Croatia. And this director, we can say that is easy to recognize some of the pieces of his work, because he has a specific style of recording, very peculiar director, because mainly his work is based in artistic film movies that used to have like a kind of philosophical theme, and definitely his style is about taking very long shots. He grew up in Budapest, in the capital city, but he was connected since the very beginning with the film industry. And actually at the age of 10, very early, he was taking part of a casting that was run by the Hungarian national television. Later on, when he got a teenager, more or less at the age of 16, he started recording his own documentaries, always talking about different kind of social problems, especially problems that were mainly in the Hungarian society, talking about complicated topics. And sooner or later it catch the attraction of one studio, Béla Tarr Studios, and definitely they think that he had a talent and they hire him. And since that moment he started working in a little bit more professional environment, but still working with amateur actors, with non-paid. And definitely this was, I think, absolutely super good luck for him, because it was a push-up in his career and he started getting more and more known, at least in a national way. Finally, his professional debut was in the year 1979 with the movie Family Nest, and always since his whole career, but let's say that this first movie make the experts consider him as a director for the social cinema, so he continued talking about complicated topics of the society. And one feature of this kind of cinema is also, according to the experts, a kind of a pessimistic point of view of the humanity. Other thing important to comment is that just 5 years later he recorded the movie Almanac of Fall in the year 1984. And why is special this information? Because it was his only movie recorded with color, not in black and white. After this point he continued creating different kind of movies, but definitely we need to mention the 3 movies that are coming next, because I think that the year 1988 was a good year for him with the movie Damnation, because definitely this was the point when he got known and more famous internationally, and definitely this was good luck. But for me it's the super good luck of his biography, the next 2 movies in the year 1994 with the movie Satan's Tango, one of the longest movies of the history of cinema, 7 hours and a half. Remember, and the movie that we are talking about today, WERCKMEISTER Harmonies from the year 2000. These 2 are his 2 masterpieces and are considered by the experts some of the 100 greatest movies of the history of the cinema, and he continues showing in this kind of movies like a kind of apocalyptic overtone. Later afterwards he still continued creating some different movies, for example the movie The Man from London that was going also to the Festival of Cannes in the year 2007. And afterwards, in the year 2011, he announced that he would like to get retired, and he created his last movie, The Turing Horse, his last creation for the cinema. And unfortunately we need to say that here bad luck for him, because everybody was having a big expectation of saying goodbye in a good way with a great critic about his movie, but people was a kind of disappointed, so definitely this wasn't a good point. Bad luck for him in this time. And since he got retired, he joined different kind of organizations, different kind of institutions. He continued receiving different kind of awards to his contribution to the cinema as ex-director. And still in the year 2011, he joined the NGO for the Human Rights Cine Foundation International. And also in the year 2013, we need to mention that he opened a cinema school in the capital of Serbia, in Sarajevo. When he was a teenager, he wanted to study philosophy at the university, but he couldn't because the Hungarian government didn't allow him, because he worked making different kind of documentaries about this kind of polemical social problems in Hungary. So he decided to start his career as the cinema director in a more professional way.
Tarr is a critic of nationalism. In one interview in 2016, he said that Donald Trump is the shame of United States. Mr. Orban is the shame of Hungary. Marine Le Pen is the shame of France, etc. And also he is pro-migration.
The favorite movies of Béla Tarr are M, Alexander Nevsky and Tokyo Story.
Important French critic and professor Jacques Rancière wrote a book about the career of the Béla Tarr.
If we take a look at his career, the movies are almost recorded in black and white. He rather prefers black and white, and the explanation for this, he says that he prefers this because it's a way to show a kind of naturalism of the movies, and also because in his opinion, in this way he can make a difference between what he wants to show in the film or in the movie and the reality.
Now, quite curious information, for many years his movies wasn't available on DVD except in Japan.
Recently, Béla Tarr confessed that he misses making movies, but he says that he prefers to be things like this because he doesn't want to copy his own stories. And also connected with that, with the copyright thing, he believes that nowadays in the cinema and before, there were not new stories, that everything was a copy from something, and he believes that there are no new stories, very interesting information, since the Old Testament.
His masterpiece, The Satan Tango, was such important that it created influence the modernist film movement. It is time for blooper. When Janusz finds Lajos, who is supposedly dead, we can clearly see that the actor is breathing. It's time for final evaluation. For me, this movie is actually a masterpiece. Béla Tarr is specific director. His shoot is in slow motion. Kind of, it's not a movie for everyone, and I really appreciate it, even if it's not my style of movies, if we can say in this way. I really like some epic scenes, like the last one or the beginning of the movie is totally epic for me. And I think that I could give 7 points to this movie.
In my opinion, I need to agree with you that it's not a movie that I could recommend to every person, to every kind of public. And also I would add that it's a kind of movie that I wouldn't recommend also for depending on the kind of mood that you have, because if you are running out of energy, I think it's not the proper movie, because the movie, it has a very slow rhythm, but at the same time there are happening things, but it's the way that it's recorded. Also sometimes I need to say that for me, I also agree with you that it's a masterpiece. It's a movie that is not empty. It's a movie that makes you think. Afterwards has plenty of messages like we have seen before in the background. But at the same time I need to say that sometimes the style of recording of Béla Tarr, of these long takes, can even desperate you, you know, empty scenes of one guy running, for example, for 5 minutes almost.
That's true.
Can desperate you, but the way that it's recorded, some of the beauty that I see in the way that it's recorded with the soundtrack, that I think that makes a big atmosphere. The actors make it very good. and like I said, it's also a good example of a simple plot that has a good message and some epic scenes that could be, I think, in the library of the most important and the most charismatic scenes of the history of cinema. So I think just because of this beauty and just because of the talent, because it's very real talent in this movie, I will give an 8. It's absolutely a recommendable movie for every cinema lovers.
So to sum up, the big screen is giving 7.5 points to this movie.
Today in Who is Who we have another movie prepared for the next review, and here are going the 3 clues for the contest, and please participate. The first clue, we are talking about an Australian animation movie. That is the first one. The second one, this movie was released in the year 2009. And I think the third one, and almost the most important, like the first one and the third one are the best clues, is the title of the movie is the same one like the name of the 2 protagonists. So we have one name and another name. 3 words, the title of the movie. So like always, if you know the clue, write it here in the commentaries below, and the first one we will mention in the next review.
So here we are, actually in the end of our video. I hope that you like. So if you would like to support us a little bit, don't forget to like our video. If you are new in our channel, don't forget to subscribe below, here and here and here. And like Kevin mentioned, don't forget to comment.
So that's all by our side. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoy, and
see you next video. Bye.
bye.